We're in Atlanta, and we are in a natural history museum. We have dinosaurs in here, but they're not walking around, thank goodness. Allison, tell us about this beautiful museum.
Well, we are Fernbank Museum of Natural History in Atlanta, Georgia, and we are Atlanta's home to dinosaurs. Behind us, you'll see the Argentinosaurus and the Giganotosaurus, and they are two of the world's largest dinosaurs. We were actually one of the first institutions to display these two animals, or dinosaurs, together, and they are approximately, the Argentinosaurus is about 3 school buses in length. So think about that, it's a rather large creature. And the smaller guy is kind of resembling a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but is a little bit larger.
Well, you know, I thought I knew my dinosaurs, and I would have said this was a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I would have been totally wrong.
You would have been wrong.
Do a lot of people do that?
They do. A lot of people are familiar with the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Giganotosaurus is not as familiar. It's a more recent discovery than the Tyrannosaurus Rex is.
Now, these are not the original fossils.
No, they're not. These are actually casts made from the original fossils. They were found in Argentina, so the original fossils are kept in Argentina where they're a national treasure. And there's also further research that are conducted on them because they're not on display. If they were on display, it'd be a little bit harder to do that. But we went down there, we had a team from Fernbank Museum that helped excavate some of these bones, and we were the first to be able to take a cast and mold of these bones and display them here in our museum.
Excellent. Now, we'll get back to the dinosaurs in just a moment, but we have a beautiful building here. From the road, it looks like a mansion, but evidently it was built from the ground up.
Yes, it was. It was built in 1992. We formally opened our doors, so only 15 years. We're a relatively young institution. And what happens, history kind of behind all of this and why we're located where we are, is that the land here was owned by the Harrison family. And Emily Harrison played along the creek banks as a child, and they were covered with ferns. And so she aptly called the place Fernbank, which is why we have our name today. Her family owned much of this land along with the Hodgsons, and they came together in the late 1800s to preserve the land here so that it didn't become overdeveloped and built upon, so that there would be a wooded, natural area in Atlanta. And from that kind of grew over the years that they wanted to see a place where people could come and be educated. And the Fernbank Science Center grew out of that, which is an extension of the DeKalb County school systems. So it serves the school children of DeKalb, but there wasn't anything yet to serve the general population of Atlanta. And so that's where the idea from a museum grew. And I guess in the late 80s, they formally started the ball rolling, the fundraising and the building plans and all of that great stuff that has to go on. And so then in 1992, we opened our doors.
Very good. Now, getting back to what is in a natural history museum, not just dinosaurs.
No, you won't find just dinosaurs in a natural history museum. Natural history is kind of the history of all of us, of the world around us. So you'll find things talking about the natural environment and the earth itself. You'll find things that talk about the people of the world and their cultures and the differences between that.
I'm sure that you have a lot of schools that come here with buses upon buses, right?
We do. We're a very popular destination for the school groups during the school year. School year's winding down now, so we're getting a bit of a breather right now, but we do have many, many school children that come through our doors every year.
Mm-hmm. Now, when we talk about dinosaurs, and of course any child can tell you that that's not a Tyrannosaurus Rex. They know a lot more than us adults do, but do you expect to get more, or is this the presentation that you wanted to give?
This is kind of the original presentation that we wanted to give. When the museum first opened, this was just a really giant open space. There were no dinosaurs. And the idea was the space was built to house some sort of dinosaur fossil exhibit. And so I believe in 2001. I'm sorry. 2001 is when we actually got our dinosaurs. So it sat empty for many, many years before we were actually able to bring our dinosaurs in.
All right, now, what else is in this Natural History Museum? You have permanent exhibits.
Yes, we do. Our permanent exhibits include a walk through time in Georgia, which we like to call a trip around the state in about 45 minutes, and it features the different regions that you'll find in Georgia, the Piedmont region, the coastal region, the plains region, and each one features dioramas that cover the different flora, fauna, and animals that you'll find in these areas. It also talks about the creation of the earth itself in parallel to Georgia, so you'll find things about plate tectonics and other fun information like that.
Okay, now, do you have any temporary exhibits?
We do. We have several temporary exhibits that come through each year. We have a special exhibition space downstairs, and right now we have Lizards and Snakes Alive, which features live lizards and snakes. And so they change out about every 3 to 6 months. We'll have frogs later this year, and then I know we have some dinosaur exhibits that are coming up and some other great things. So there's always something new to see here.
Well, I got to ask you, because I know that you sit down, at a table and have a meeting as to what to have in here. And does somebody say, "Hey, I got a good deal on a bunch of snakes and reptiles"? Or how do you find these things?
Well, it's a process that involves a committee of people from all the various different departments in the museum, from programming to membership to exhibit design. They all come together and they have just an ongoing list of the different exhibits that are available throughout the U.S. and the world, actually. We've had some come over from Italy in the past. They're available to bring into your museum. And we plan about 5 to 6 years out. So right now we have stuff on the book for 2010, 2011, 2012, and it just goes through a long process of reviewing the exhibit. Does it meet our mission goals? Does it fit in? Will it be appealing to our families and children? And so there's a lot of different considerations that go in for that.
Now that would be a traveling exhibit, correct?
So that would be for a traveling exhibit. That's
your permanent exhibits are going to stay.
Yes, the permanent exhibits are always here and always available to view.
It's just, and I guess you need the traveling ones, because after everybody's come and seen what you have, the traveling one brings them back again.
It does. We also have an IMAX theater that brings people back, so our films change out about every 3 to 4 months also. So like I said, there's always something new to see here at the museum.
Okay, now you have something happening tonight here in the museum that I wouldn't have thought you would have in a natural history museum, and that is martinis and IMAX?
Yes, we have Fernbank's Martinis and IMAX held every Friday night, January through November. Starting at 5:30 p.m., we open our doors. We have a live jazz band that plays, different local talent that comes in each week. You can come in, get a drink, enjoy some dinner, grab a dessert, sit out on our beautiful terrace and enjoy the view, and see an IMAX film.
Well, if the dinosaurs don't get you, the martinis will.
I guess they could.
Oh, they could anyway, yes. What is the best way for people to find out more about this natural history museum?
The best place to go is going to be our website, which is www.fernbankmuseum.org. And on there you can find information about all of our permanent exhibitions, the upcoming traveling exhibitions, our IMAX films, as well as our different programs that we have going on. We have traveling programs that people can be a part of. We have family days with crafts and activities for the kids. So like I said, there's always something to do here.
Very good. Allison, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. We're glad to have you out here.